Hey everyone, welcome to ZV NFT. In this episode, I wanted to cover a couple of things that I was experiencing over the last few days, okay? The first is scams. I got an up-close look at what happens when a disaster occurs on the biggest marketplace for NFTs in the world, Opensea. I'd like to talk through a little bit about what happened and what you can do to protect yourself, because as a newbie, you're going to be pretty susceptible to scams like I was. So I just want to red flag a bunch of things that you can be aware of and that you should do when you're getting into the NFT space. The other thing is that I was looking at all the collections and I was like, I should do a collection, right? I mean, why not? So I just started to piece together and think, what exactly is required to put out an NFT collection today? So I'll share with you what I've learned, and I'll do so along the way. First, a couple of headlines in ZV Zaps. Okay, so the first story I want to share is about ETH Denver. ETH Denver's been kind of a big deal this week, and it's all about crypto in Denver, Colorado. Basically, people from all around the world have flooded to Denver. This is the largest Ethereum event on the planet. Ethereum is a technology that basically powers decentralized applications, and it allows people to send cryptocurrency on its blockchain. Think of Ethereum as the supercomputer of the world, right? It has a base layer and then people start building over it. And that's the kind of interesting and exciting applications that Ethereum allows different innovators to be able to build on. So there was a lot of great conversation. If you go to Twitter Spaces, everybody's talking about the big takeaways from ETH Denver. And one of the big headlines that came out was essentially the governor of Colorado, who's a huge tech enthusiast. His name is Jared Polis, and he's saying that Colorado plans to be the first digital state. The state's still spending money in dollars, including budgets, etc. But by the middle of the year, by the summer, he says, Colorado will become the first state to accept cryptocurrency for payment of state tax and fees. That's a big deal. He was talking about having laid the groundwork for a while to be a center of crypto and blockchain, and that they really see it as a critical part of Colorado's overall innovation system. So this is kind of a big deal because Denver would be the first jurisdiction in the United States to use blockchain for purposes like allowing residents to vote overseas, right? So that's something to keep an eye on. And just a few moments ago, I was on Twitter, like I'm on way too much these days, and I saw that the state of Utah in the United States had also introduced a bill to look at the payment of taxation and taxes in Bitcoin. Okay, so this is important because you're starting to see the mainstreaming of cryptocurrencies in different ways. So the other thing that I want to flag is Opensea, the NFT marketplace, and they're investigating a phishing hack. Essentially, what happened was that there was a big hullabaloo on Sunday night as I was trying to relax and have a cup of tea and watch a movie or something, and all of a sudden I see everyone going crazy on Twitter, and the question was a wallet that was stealing blue chip NFTs, Azukis, Bored Apes, Doodles, that sort of thing, like the A++, hundreds of thousands worth of NFTs. And the question was, the unknown at the time was, is this happening because Opensea was doing a migration internally at the time? Was this a vulnerability that has previously been exploited and existed on Opensea, that some new wallet someone was exploiting and stealing? It turned out that it was a phishing attack. So this person or people basically took a logo from Opensea and created a fake email and sent it around and said, something related to the migration, click here. And that allowed that wallet to suddenly get access into people's private wallets. And days later, they started to steal when this migration was underway. And so it was quite a hullabaloo. And I got stressed because the night before, which was a cutoff timing related to the migration, I had decided to sell some NFTs for the very first time. And I was like, oh, okay, we'll sell this, sell that. And then I found myself at jeopardy of these NFTs being stolen, or, and I was like, what did I do? Why did I have to pick the one day? But it ended up forcing me to pay attention to the conversations with, really smart people on Twitter Spaces. And I learned about something called Revoke Cash. And this is essentially something that allows you to cancel a contract that you sign with Opensea. So when I sold the NFTs, or I listed them to be sold, I had to sign a contract. So sometimes you go online and someone goes, have you read through the terms and agreements? And you just scroll through, yeah, and you hit agree. It was kind of the same thing. I had to sign a contract to allow Opensea to access my wallet so that my NFT can be listed. So revoke.cash apparently reverses this. However, on the day, every single person was going to revoke.cash. I couldn't get on, and I couldn't also get on Etherscan, and there were other more complicated ways to do it, and I just couldn't do it. So I helplessly stared. Fortunately, no one wanted to steal my stuff, but still, it opened my eyes. Another outcome of that was the competing marketplace to OpenSea called Luxware got a big boost. Their token, Luxware, pumped when this disaster happened, and people were really turned off OpenSea. They were like, firstly, you need to be transparent. Secondly, give us information. And it was a long time before OpenSea said anything. And people were thinking, look, you get 2.5% royalty for every transaction. Like, it's not like you can't invest in a better security system, or, don't send such pedestrian emails to, your user base, because they can be copied, and phishing attempts like this happen. It made me also look at what are the measures that I need to put in place to make sure that I'm not hacked or phished, or I don't do something dumb that hurts myself. So I just want to take you through some of that, and I'll do that with an email thread that I saw from someone that I follow quite closely on YouTube, and I really like some of the stuff he says. So let's just take a look at it. The YouTube channel that I watch is called The Nifty Verse, at NFT Verse, and the host's name is Angel. I really like what he said about security and NFTs right after that phishing attack on OpenSea. He said, number one, never click unknown links. This happens especially in Discord, right? In the community channel that's become really popular for different projects to coalesce around, and to get the communities and individuals to bond with one another, and just to connect also with the founders of the project. So just be really careful when you get a link. Just don't click on it, right? There's no reason, he says, you should be clicking an unknown link. You can receive messages on Discords about projects minting early or giveaways that you won. Then you get really excited and you click, and it ends up being a scam, right? And that's actually what happened to me a couple of times. I clicked on a link in Discord thinking, oh my God, this is perfect timing. Someone, this mint is happening now. And I quickly did things, and I wasn't paying attention, and I got scammed by, quite a lot of money. Never give out your seed phrase. The seed phrase is referring to the words you get, like a series of 12 words that make up your secret phrase. And only you have access to it, and anybody who has that seed phrase can open up your wallet and take everything in it. If anybody ever asks you for your seed phrase, it's a red flag, period. Nobody asks you for a seed phrase. Not the creators of MetaMask, not any project. Even the project teams themselves don't direct message you at all, right? So big red flag. Anybody asks for a seed phrase, they're a scammer. Disconnect your MetaMask wallet from websites or any other wallet that you're using to buy NFTs. Sometimes what happens is, you go on a site, you connect your wallet, or you go on OpenSea, you connect your wallet, and then you forget you connected your wallet. But, there's some evil people waiting to see you who hasn't done that, and they can basically get into your wallet if you remain connected. Revoke permissions and access from your NFTs. That's what I was trying to do this weekend. Revoke.cash was an example. So if you're uncomfortable, you just revoke Opensea or any marketplace that you have signed a contract with, and they're not allowed to get into your wallet. They're not allowed to list anything or any one of your NFTs. The other one is to use a hardware wallet, so you can store your NFTs on Opensea or in MetaMask or in Coinbase wallet or other wallets. Immutable X I've got a couple of things in there actually. But the safest thing to do is have a hardware wallet. I just got this a couple of days ago, a Ledger Nano S, and I'm just about to teach myself, what do I do? What do I do with this now? And they're public and private keys, and basically anything I care about, whether it's cryptocurrency, which I do, NFTs, in particular ones that are rare, right? I need to put it on a hardware wallet. And I need to remember the seed phrase to this and the password to this, that you're encouraged only to write on paper. You don't take a photograph of it. You don't keep it in any kind of a digital format. So just use your hardware wallet for stuff that you really care about. And I think it's just good practice to do. And I'm about to make sure that I launch myself into understanding how to do it. So you have to be careful. What I do now when I go to collections that I'm interested in, or if they're having a live mint, I go to their Twitter page and I look for their actual site from the official Twitter handle, because that's the only way I can be sure that I'm not on some kind of a scam site or a mirror site, or crazy people aren't trying to scam me. So this is Starcatchers, for example, that's minting. Oh shoot, I think now. Okay, I'll do this quickly. I didn't get on the pre-sale though, so I think I might just have to catch it on the secondary, which means on OpenSea, the secondary market. So you go to a website directly from the official Twitter handle. Just make that good practice. It made me also start thinking this week about how do you put an NFT collection together? How you look at the team, look at this massive team, like putting this collection. It's pretty incredible. Think of this like a small startup basically, and the seed round is everybody buying this NFT. And I was just thinking, what are the pieces that need to be in place? Obviously, you need to get the designs together. They need to be appealing, either on trend, which this one kind of is with the kind of the dark outlines, the pastel, kind of cute, etc. People have been gravitating toward this already, but the design is clean and nice. That's one thing. Or you have to innovate something completely different that people get excited about, right? You obviously need a Twitter page, and then you need to start growing your followers, right? So here they've got 86,000 followers over the past few months. They've also done some very good partnerships. This particular project has reached out to a lot of different projects that amplify them, right? They amplify each other, which is what's nice about this community. Everyone does kind of back each other and shares and likes and buys just to keep the encouragement, the momentum, the enthusiasm going. And also they're good projects and they have potential. You have to design a good, nice, clean website. When you mint a project like Invisible Friends, which is actually, this is like the most hyped project in the last few months. I remember seeing this in November when I was in Nairobi, and now they're minting tomorrow and everyone is very excited by this. Marcus Magnuson is the creator behind this, and it's a Random Characters Collective. They're a part of that collective, and they're minting this. But you need to figure out, how do you mint from a website which looks like a Web 2 site, but what's driving it behind this is Web 3, because you have to connect your wallet. You're connecting it to a backend that is conducting a transaction on the blockchain that is usually linked to OpenSea. That's where you'll ultimately see what you buy when it's revealed. So there's a large process behind this, and hence you need some strong developers, I've realized, on a team to be able to pull something like this together and to be able to mint directly from a website. The other thing that you need to think about is that you need a good roadmap, right? If I want to invest in an NFT, I want to know who's the team and what are they going to be doing, right? Like, what's their plan? So sometimes I see people with a great team and wonderful art, and they're like, we're not doing a roadmap because let's just roll with it and see how it goes. And everything is just so good that sometimes investors or potential buyers into the project are like, okay, this is good. We'll give you a little grace period to figure out what the specifics are on a roadmap. But you've also got to come up with partnership ideas, airdrops, giveaways, things that can hype the community and get them excited about your project, right? So you're constantly having to create and be creative. You want a way to link the community together, right? So from Twitter handles, often you'll see a Discord link. And people can go into Discords and meet one another, learn about the project, see what the vibe is, and it's a way to build community, and that's really important. One thing that's a big deal too are whitelists and pre-sales, right? So it's kind of competitive to get on whitelists. It's become kind of like a thing. It's hard. You have to spend a lot of time, or you have to, you have to be on a Patreon list or buy somebody else's NFT that allows you potential access onto a whitelist. So it's become a whole thing, but it is a way to build up momentum and excitement about a particular project. And the whitelists happen in pre-sales. Then the pre-sale happens. Then the public mint happens, if it's a public mint at all. And then the NFT is revealed on Opensea either immediately or after a period of time. So even the reveal is like very exciting. Ooh, what will this look like? What did I get? Did I get something rare? What is the investment that I ultimately have in my hand? So that tends to be exciting. Sometimes if the reveal is kind of a letdown, then you'll see the prices start dropping of this NFT, and that people will be trying to get rid of it. So one of the best times to actually buy is after a reveal. If it's not that great, or people are like, okay, great, I'm just going to flip it for money, you can pick it up at not as cheap as the mint price, but you can pick it up for an okay price. What else have I learned? Oh yeah, I've learned there's this thing called Twitter Spaces. Obviously I know about Twitter Spaces, but I haven't spent as much time as I have this week. And it really is a great way to build community, build followers, and get people excited about what you're doing, share your project. The expression is to shill, S-H-I-L-L, to shill your work. So it's a shill zone or a no shill zone. And I've actually really been enjoying listening to the NFT community in those spaces. So there's a lot to think about: building the community, building the hype, marketing it, working on the art, figuring out how to roll it out, understanding the dev stuff, rolling out the technology. Ethereum blockchain uses Solidity, for example, as a programming language. So you need to be able to operate, in a particular kind of code, so that it talks to the blockchain, that talks to the NFT, that facilitates transactions and all of that. So yeah, so then I was like, well, knowing all that, should I even try doing a collection of my own? Of course, I had to say yes to myself. Let's try it. Let's do it. I mean, I know it's going to be hard, but let's go through the motions and understand exactly what needs to be done to deliver a successful project. So this is it. The Luca Press Club. I've partnered with a former colleague of mine at CNN. His name is Billy Bunton. He's a cartoonist, he's a humorist, he's an artiste extraordinaire, and he's a really awesome person. He's also extremely handsome, extremely funny, and extremely lovely. That's Billy Bunton. Billy has spent the last few months designing the Lucas, inspired by my Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, Luca, who's really a pig disguised as a dog. But anyway, we thought that we would think about the media space, we would think about NFTs, and we would explore how an NFT can offer the utility and an opportunity to shape stories, to participate in a press club, to have access to great speakers, information, and really try and use the storytelling ecosystem as well as blockchain technology to move and shift and disrupt the current legacy media space. So these are all big thoughts, yes, I know, but there are definitely problems that we can solve using an NFT that wants to disrupt a media space, or wants to at least think differently, right? Disrupt's a big word, and adventurous, to say the least. But there are problems. There are opportunities, and we believe that the Luca Press Club offers some solutions. So this is my Medium page explaining a little bit about what is the Luca Press Club, what is the utility of a Luca, And oh, and meet Luca. Of course, I have hundreds of pictures that I'm going to torment you with over the coming weeks. But this was the original Luca, and then Billy had some inspiration from that photograph and came up with this. So I will keep you posted how it's going. I mean, honestly, we're in the learning and exploring stage, and we're really just trying to understand what pieces we need for an initial drop. So we understand the entire process. We stress test, we beta test, we make mistakes, and we keep a good idea in hand and really try and execute it. And at the very least, we'll get a good conversation going about NFTs and media today and the future of media. And I can't help myself. This is the awesome video that Billy put together that I want to play for you. Watch.
Who let the dogs out? 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 Who let the dogs out?
Oh gosh. Killer one, Billy. Make sure you follow us at the Luca PC on Twitter so you stay updated with everything that we're thinking, feeling, planning, hoping, and we will start sharing our vision with you slowly by slowly once we have certain pieces in place. That's it for this edition of ZV NFT. Please hit the like button if you found any of this useful, helpful, fun, exciting, interesting, or informative, right? So it has to be one of those, right? Please hit the like button if you feel like it, and do subscribe to the channel. It would be really great, and it also helps me share information about my journey and gets it in front of more people to understand and learn about NFTs. I've had such a great response from people just wanting more content, wanting to understand and learn more. So if there's anything specifically that you have in mind that you would like me to talk about or explore, just let me know and just make a comment below. I'd love that. Take care. Bye.